Hey Baker Art Friends, it's Mrs. Herbay. So if you decided that you want to draw a spooky version of a house this week, this is the tutorial that you will watch. And basically we're going to start to draw the spooky house like we would a regular house, but then we're going to start to change just a few things about how we do it. And you're going to see how it will then transform itself into more of a spooky house. So the first thing that we're going to do is in step one, we are going to draw a rectangle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look ahead and see, okay, there's going to be some things on top of the rectangle. So I don't want to draw it at the very top of my page. I want to kind of come down a little bit to allow some room there. So I'm going to maybe put a line probably like around here. You would do it just lightly, and then I'm going to come down and maybe put a line right about here. So that kind of tells me how tall my rectangle should be, and I want to start fairly close to the edge of the left-hand side of my paper because I need to fit more things over here, but I'm going to leave a little bit of space. So I'm going to come down here first with my vertical line of my rectangle, and then I'm going to go across. I can kind of erase my little mark there, and I'm going to go across here maybe about like that, and then I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to go across here like that. All right. Then for step two, I see, oh, I need to add a rectangle on top here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm also going to add a rectangle here. And then I'm going to go ahead and then work my way down and across. So I'm checking and I see, okay, I got all three of my parts. Now I'm going to go on to step three, which is adding, in most cases when we draw houses, we put triangles for the roof. In this house, we're going to put a roof on this little part right here. So I'm going to go up and then down like that. And then I'm going to put another roof on this. So I'm going to go up and then down like that. And I see that in my drawing the roof is a little bit higher. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower that a little bit and make an adjustment. And there's my triangle. Like that and like that. All right, and then I notice that there is a rectangle here, so I'm going to draw that right there. Now here's where we're going to start to transform the house into a spooky house. And instead, now what we are going to do is we are going to sort of change the shape of the shapes. So this triangle has very straight lines, and instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of try to make I'm going to draw more curved lines here for the edge of the rectangle. So I'm kind of going to come down and it's going to curve out like that, and same for this one. Imagine that these roofs are sort of like a witch's hat, sort of coming down and curving out, so it has more of a spooky feel to it. And the same would be for this one. It kind of curves up, but then I can curve in and then curve back out like that. And then I'm also going to do it on this side where I can curve sort of out and in and back out, so it looks a little bit wonky like that. And then the same is going to happen here, where I'm going to sort of turn this, I'm going to kind of curve in and up And then the same here, I'm going to sort of curve in and then back out and down. And you can kind of shape it how you want to. But so now it kind of looks a little more spooky there. And then we're also going to change this where this is going to be a little bit thinner at the top, and then we can kind of curve it out. So if you're not good at drawing straight lines, then a spooky house should be right up your alley, because we don't want the lines to be straight. And then again, I'm just going to erase this line here, and again I'm going to kind of turn it up like that. So now the outside edge is wobbly. Then we're going to add the two roofs, and then we'll also change these outer lines here like this. So we want to try to kind of roughly find the half point right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop down a little bit below the half line. And again, I'm going to draw a line, but I'm going to draw that line and it's not going to be straight. It's kind of going to have a bow in it. And then I'm also then from this edge here, I'm going to draw out, but again, it's not going to be straight. It's going to kind of curve down and then out. And then same thing, and kind of draw up like that. So it looks like, ooh, this roof is a little bit cattywampus like that. And then again, I'm going to figure out, okay, where do I want my next roof line? And again, I'm just going to draw it. It's a little bit wavy. And then I'm going to kind of curve up like that. So the roof has, it looks a little bit like it's wavy and spooky. And then this line we're going to erase, and this line we are going to erase. But we're going to kind of imagine that the house is a little bit, we're going to take this line right here, and we're going to kind of turn it like that. So it's going to kind of come in and then go back out. And then also we're going to do the same thing here on this one, where imagine that this line was out and then it's going to come down like this. So now our house is looking a little bit spookier. So go ahead and, oh, I forgot this last part too. And then we're going to sort of pretend like a chunk of this porch kind of got broken off like that. And we can also do it over here like this too. So go ahead and draw this part, and I'll pause the video to let you catch up. And then when we turn the page is when we will continue to add more spooky details. All right, my friends, now that we have our basic haunted house shape, now we are going to start to add the windows. So there is a window up here that has a curve on the top, and again you can kind of almost even make it a little bit like a ghost shape if you'd like to. Then there is, I'm going to put this triangle in first, so I'm just going to kind of try to find the midpoint of this, and I'm just going to put a light line here. You can you would draw it a little bit lighter than I would, but I just want you to kind of see that. And then that's also where I'm going to kind of draw this porch. And so again, my line is kind of making it like not very straight, and then I can kind of curve out and down when I draw the posts that go here like this, so they're not straight. All right, and then I'm going to draw my front door, and I'm going to draw a curve here. But again, I might curve that line in and then back out. This one's a little curved too. And then I can erase my middle line now that I have my door there. And then I'm going to think about adding my windows. And I'm noticing here, I could maybe make this roof line come down just a little bit further. So I'm just going to make an adjustment there and put that line like that. And then I'm going to draw a window here. And again, it doesn't have to be perfectly square because it's a haunted house. And I'm just gonna maybe move this over just a little bit like that. And then I'm going to draw my 2 rectangles here. Again, they can be kind of curvy or cattywampus like that, like that. There's those windows. And then over here, there is a window here with a sill underneath. And then there is a diamond shape, but we'll kind of do it like that. And then there is one more window here like that. And then I'm just gonna check over, I got all my windows. So now I'm gonna move on to step 6. And I see here, oh, there's a triangle within that triangle, but I'm not gonna draw it straight. It's kind of wobbly like that. I see, oop, there's a chimney on this house, but the chimney is rather crooked like that. Oh, there's a window up here. So I'm gonna draw a circle. And then there's a circle within the circle, and then another circle. And then I'm gonna kind of draw a line coming down halfway like that, a line going like that, diagonal, diagonal. It almost looks like a spider web. And then I'm gonna add my shutters, and the shutters, I'm not gonna draw a straight line, so I'm kind of making the shutters look like, oh, the shutter might have slid down and came a little bit like this. The shutter is kind of like that, and then the shutter is a little bit silly too. And then, oh, I'm going to add my window panes. So I'm going to go like that. I'm going to go like that, like that. There's some here, and then there's ones here, and one there. Oops, and I need to add my door details, so I'm going to go up and around like that. Doorknob, and then I'm going to add the last little panels of the door. So, and I do my little check, I got all my details. If there are some other ideas, oops, I forgot this little triangle. If there's some other ideas that you have that I didn't include, please feel free. I'm just kind of giving you the basic idea. Then we're going to start to add some more spooky details. So, for example, there is a little bit of a decorative piece that's up here, but we're gonna kind of draw it so that it looks a little bit bent and crazy right there. And then I'm going to draw, there's a little bit of a iron railing up here, but again, the iron pieces might be not straight and kind of bent, and I can kind of decide how I want that. And then I'm just going to put the triangle pieces, the triangle shapes on top, like that. And oh, maybe there's a spider web up here, so I'm going to draw some circles coming out like that, and then I'll draw my diagonal lines. And again, you can make these sort of wavier lines. There's a spider coming down on the house. So I drew an oval, circle, and then I'm going to do a long leg, short leg, short leg, long leg, short leg, long leg. And oh, there maybe some of the glass in the window is broken. And so I'm going to draw that. And then Oops, now in this one, the curtains might be ripped. So there's some ripped curtains hanging there. Maybe there's another hole in the glass. There's some more ripped curtains kind of hanging this way. So I'm using a lot of zigzag lines. There's maybe another hole in the glass here. I'm going to draw some steps coming up, but they're not going to be very straight steps. And oops, there's another cool sort of decorative piece here that's going to kind of curve up and around like that, and then you can fill that in like that. So there's this step, and then the final step is just adding a few more spooky details. So for example, we're going to talk about drawing the shingles for this roof here, and what I like to do is I like to draw horizontal lines, but in this case I'm not going to draw them very straight. I'm just kind of drawing some wavier horizontal lines across here like this. And then what I'm going to do is then I'm going to draw some vertical lines across like this. And what you want to do is you want to, when you start down at the next row, you're going to sort of stagger your vertical lines. So now I'm going to put a vertical line kind of in the space where there isn't one. So I'm going to go like that, right? And then you're just going to keep going along to add the shingles, and I'm going to make it go in fast motion so you can we can move on to the next step. All right, my friends, we're just going to look here and finish up a few more details on our house. I'm going to add some just sort of horizontal lines for the shutters, but again, they're just sort of like quick, crazy lines like that. I'm going to put a few horizontal lines here to make it seem like maybe there's some siding here. Again, it doesn't have to be straight. Here I'm going to do this roof a little bit differently. I'm going to do some vertical and diagonal lines for the roof there. And then over here, I sort of have like a little bit of a ghost in the window, kind of hiding here. I have a bat up here coming out of the chimney, and you can kind of, I'm going to draw a vertical line, and then I'm doing some curved lines for that little bat there. You can put a moon with some spooky clouds. Maybe there's some other bats that are flying up in the air. You could add more spider webs if you want to. Oh, I'm going to put some parts here where it looks like some of the house has broken off. And again, you can put these wherever you want. And then I'm going to just draw some lines on the curtains to give them a little bit more feel. And if you want to, you can draw a tree. I'm kind of drawing so I'm just drawing some wavy lines up like that, and then you can go back and sort of darken those in. And oops, maybe someone's up hiding in that window. So I hope you have fun with this. You can add other spooky details, and I hope this inspires you to draw a fun, spooky house. Can't wait to see what you create.